Thank you for that, David. So those are things that you're going to learn. You're going to learn about networking and security fundamental, especially when it comes to system administration on Linux. Forgive me, guys, my allergies. Bad. Then the practical skills, you're going to learn how to install, configure, maintain Linux server. Install, maintain, and configure Linux server. You're going to learn how to manage various services when it comes to Linux. What SSH does, Nginx, Apache, firewall. You're going to troubleshoot boot and runtime issues. You're going to use logs to troubleshoot issues. Logs will become your reading book. Logs will become your technical Bible, not the biblical one that we all use, for those of you that use them. So we're going to learn logging, monitoring, and improve performance. Those are things that we're going to develop. Those are practical skills that we're going to develop here. Guys, there are a lot of things that we're going to be learning in here. So get ready. So for the certification real-time work projects, this course will prepare you to sit for CompTIA, Linux Plus. This course will prepare you to sit for Red Hat System Administration, RACSA. It will also prepare you to sit for the Linux Protocol, a certification, which is the exam 1. You're also going to learn how to build and secure a web server. For those of you who don't know yet what a web server is, you see the good website out there. You see how that website you want to read how it's being provisioned. You will, at the end of the day, website development will be a simple thing for you. Even though you won't be a web developer, but you will be the engineer that deploy the hosting services and the system or the server for the website, for the website to be able to run. All right, that is your job as a Linux system administrator. You go learn how to automate system tasks using shell script, as I mentioned earlier. You're going to stimulate real-time troubleshooting scenario. We're going to give you a series of projects that you're going to do, and each of those projects technically going to count as a work experience for you. So get ready. We're going to dive into this with the speed of light, and let us all be prepared for this wonderful journey. Now, when you should have completed everything that you're going to learn about Linux system administration, you can either choose to say, you know what, I'm going to go extra mile to do a lot of research, to be ahead of the class, to stay up all night, to stay up for 4 hours so that I can get a job by the time I complete Linux system administration. So if you heading that way, when it comes to the way in which you want to treat Linux system, there are jobs out there for you. When you complete Linux system administration, you can be a Linux system administrator. You can be the site reliability engineer, which is the SRE, to support production. You can be a system analyst and the infrastructure administrator, just by completing the course called Linux system administration. You can be able to do those things in real time. So that is it, class. That's exactly what I wanted to go through with you all. And before I pass it over to Chris, we're going to be, by the end of this class, we're going to be assigning server to each and every one of you. You're going to have your own server, and you're going to be accountable for that server. You're going to be making sure that that server is being well maintained. And by the end of this course, you're going to master everything about that server because you are learning Linux system administration. And your job here is not to install server. That's not the job of a Linux system administrator, to be installing Ubuntu or stuff. So the server is there. You're going to maintain it. You're going to administer it. You're going to do everything that you need to learn as a Linux system administrator. So by the end of this class tonight, we're going to assign the server to you all. Thank you all. Chris, I'm going to pass it on to you. Please feel free to take over.
All right. Hello, everybody. You're hearing me?
Yes, Chris,
Yeah,
I
we
can
can hear
hear you
you.
loud and clear.
Hello, Chris. We can hear you. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. Welcome back to some of you that were in the previous section. And then welcome to those of you that are here for the first time. It's a privilege to have you here. This is gonna be a very exciting journey. You guys gonna learn a lot of new things, and you're gonna have fun doing this. If you somebody who have been passionate about getting into the IT field and most especially into the cloud environment, I can guarantee you are in the right place. My colleagues kind of elaborated a lot on some of the things you're gonna be doing here, so I'm not gonna take much of your time tonight. So tonight is just introduction, okay? For the first 1 month, 4 weeks, I will have to look at the curriculum again. But the first minimum 4 weeks that you're gonna be in this section, I will be taking you guys through Linux system admin. And then at the end of that, we'll transition into DevOps, which is the cloud environment. And then my colleague Abraham is going to take over from there. The both of us, just a little history. We go way back, and the white people say we go way back. Yeah, we started the IT journey to where Abraham started IT in Liberia before he moved to the US. But his IT journey here in the US, he and I basically started together. And ever since then, he been a brother and a friend to me throughout the time. And here we are trying to impart the knowledge that we acquire to some of our brothers and sisters here to be able to take advantage of the very, very broad field of IT and to be able to have the opportunity to change your life. So once again, welcome to all of you. I'm just gonna go to the news to anyway, everybody gonna introduce themselves, okay? So by way of introduction, my name is Chris. I'm one of the assistant instructor here to Abraham Batua. And like I said earlier on, I will be taking you guys through the first few weeks of this course. So we're just gonna go around the class, let people introduce themselves. Whether you were here from the previous class or you just coming today, we will do introduction just so we know everybody. And as you introduce yourself, I will love for you to go on video so we can put a face to the name. If you can't go on video for any reason, just let us know, but it will be a good thing to have, to see everybody's faces on here tonight, just to put a face to the name. So let's go around the class. We'll start with Kona. Kona, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Kona. I came from the last batch, and I joined this class. When was that? It was some part of. It was last year August when I think August or September when I came back from Liberia, and I got connected to a friend who connected me with AB, and since I started this class, I think it has actually helped me when it comes to improving myself in the field. And I can tell anybody this is the right place to be because the people who run this institution are people with very patience. Even me, who was a student, I don't have that patience they have. But yeah, just happy to be here again. And thank you. Did you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I went on mute and then forgot to. But thank you, Kona, for the introduction. Welcome back. We'll go to Leighton. If you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, good. Good evening, to everyone. I'm Lee Tone, Teddy Yancey. For some personal reason, I won't be show my video for now. My apologies. Mm, So far, so good. I'm Legon Teddy Yancey.
Okay. Leighton, welcome. And I see my own big brother on here, Kelvin.
Uh,
I know your video upside down.
I don't know. I've been like that for a while now. I don't know what's going on.
You want us to tell us upside down like this?
No, not really. I say the way I set up the computer, I guess that's why. But I'll go up video.
Okay, no
All
problem.
right. By the way, introduction. I'm Kelvin Coward. I live in Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm one of the students from the old batch, and I've been here for the past 6 to 8 months through the instructors of Chris, Abraham, and all the administrators that have been teaching you. It's been a great journey that we have come, and we are still on board. We're continuing with the next batch. And also, Abraham is my younger brother. So I welcome all the newcomers. You're welcome on board. And thanks to the whole administration for the first batch and the great job they did to bring all this far. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kelvin. Mama Call, the big sister of the class. Mama Call, talk to us. Mama Call, you there?
Yeah, hello.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm far from my computer. I just came. You were saying something?
No, we introducing ourselves. So can you introduce yourself so we can know who you are? And would love to put a face to your name.
The face?
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
I sent my camera on.
okay, put a face on.
If possible.
If possible, it is.
Okay.
Okay. Got some cap on. Sorry. Hi everyone. I'm Mama Kokawe. I was part of the first batch, and I'm so grateful I'm back this time. So help me God. We got good teachers who go beyond, do all they can for us to understand the course. And I pray this time around, I'm gonna be a victor.
Amen. Thank you, Mama Call.
Okay.
All right. Who do we have next? Kona, you went. Is Ernest on? Ernest Hugo. Sorry if I don't pronounce your name right.
Yeah, you cool?
Hugo, okay.
Good evening to I'm Ernest Euclid. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Or I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm very new in the class, so I want to see how it go. It's my very first time, so I want to see how it goes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ernest. Welcome. We have Dan B. Saki Jr. Talk to us, Daniel.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Daniel Bisaki Jr. and I'm very glad to be in this class today, as today is my first day, and I'm always passionate to learn new things, and I guess this is the right place to be. Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome. We have David. David, please talk to us.
Hello, everyone, and it's a pleasure having you as part of the second batch of ABDA. As the founder said, Mr. Batwa, made mention of David at one point in time. I'm the administrator of ABDA and happen to be in your presence. Together, we can all climb the cloud ladder and explore future options when it comes to our career path. So welcome to the new ones. We are happy to have you among us. And also welcome back to those who think it's necessary to come back and get started. So together, you can reach out to me whenever you have a concern. As far as the course is concerned, as far as the method of presentation is concerned, or anything that you'd like to talk about, pretty much relating to the class, feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, I will be along with you on this journey till you get the result of being here. So thank you once again, and we look forward to climbing this journey together. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David, Mr. Admin. So that's the guy that will be coming after you to pay some money. Just to put it out there. Anyways, did I miss somebody? Yeah, George. George, can you please talk to us?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, George.
How are you? Okay. Sorry, permit me. I got cold. Struggling here. Okay. My name is George. Like AB said, I'm going to be providing support to the team. So just in case if you while teaching and you guys have some issue, like we can have break room, I can go out there in the break room and provide support so that the class is not, interrupted by students. So I work in the IT field. I've been in the field for a couple of years. I'm support engineer by profession. So I audited the first class during the first batch. I spent some time auditing the class, and AB and I talk, and I'm going to be providing support for the next class and say.
Thank you, George. Nice meeting you.
Good to meet you.
Okay. I think we have exhausted the list. If I did miss your name, please let me know so you can introduce yourself. But I think we have exhausted the list already. So, all right. So today, it's just gonna be this an introductory class. So we're not gonna do anything much technical here today. But as of tomorrow, as you heard from AB, there will be servers assigned to you guys. And those servers are the one we're going to be using in your lab. So that lab is your virtual lab. It's not a physical lab, but just visualize it as a physical lab where you have on multiple computers and you have different programs or applications running on those computers. And your job as a system administrator is to make sure that those computers are running the way they should or supposed to be running. Okay. So let me just share my screen here, and then we're going to go over a few slides to kind of let you know what we're going to be doing here or why you are here. Okay, so just give me 1 second here. Let me find my window here. Okay. Just bear with me. I'm using a a Chromebook here, so it's not as efficient as okay. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not going to allow me to share my screen. I have to, hold on, let me see here. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Do you see the new screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. I just had to go through a few extra steps. This MacBook I'm using. So before we go into this, let me just introduce myself officially. My name is Christopher, full name, Christopher Saki Moba. Like I said earlier, I'm one of the assistant instructor here, and you'll be seeing my face a lot for the first few weeks in this class. And then after that, my lead professor is going to take over, Abraham Batuat, and then I will just be there to support in break rooms and other areas and stuff. So with my little background, I've been working in the IT field for going to 4 years now. Just like every one of you on here, 4 years ago, I was in the same seat that you're sitting in right now. And I'm just saying this to kind of encourage you, to kind of let you know that the decision you made to be here is the right decision. Little over 4 years ago, say 5 years, I was right in the same seat you were sitting in. My background, I have a business degree. I used to be a manager for a group home. Some of you that live in the US here, you know what a group home is. I was a manager for a group home for about a little over 8 years. And it seems like I just hit the glass ceiling and I could not go any further than that. To be able to go further in those kind of careers or fields, you have to have a master's degree or a doctorate degree to really break through that glass ceiling. And we all know how it is in here in America to go to school at the same time, working full time, taking care of family here back home is not easy. So that was a huge hurdle for me until a good friend of mine, rather from Worcester, Massachusetts, he talked to me and said, "My man, there's some IT stuff going on. You know, some Cameroon guy got a boot camp for DevOps. If you're interested in it, you know, it's only $3,500, and you pay that money, and in 6 months' time, you can be a DevOps engineer." It sounded too good to be true. The guy I asked him, I said, "Who running that program?" He said, "Oh, that one guy from Cameroon." I said, "The Nigerian Cameroon man, and just forget it. I 419." So he said, "No, it's not. You know, you need to give it a try, call the number." So after a few weeks, I thought about it. I decided to call, and I called the number, spoke with the guy who owned the school, like kind of in the same capacity as Abraham. So we talked for a little bit and he encouraged me. He said, "Are you willing to do this?" I said, "I will give it a try." He said, "No, I don't want you to give it a try. I want you to give it your all. I want you to go into this like your life depends on it." And that's the same mindset I want to instill in you guys tonight. Do this like your life depends on it. Things that you're going to learn here within the course of 6 months. You can go to a 4-year college, you're probably not going to exhaust all those materials. So the materials are condensed. And when I say condensed, it doesn't mean that we're skipping things that, you know, that you're supposed to know. No. Based on our experience working in the field, I'm a DevOps engineer for a tech company called Peak Technologies. Okay. And recently I just graduated with my master's degree in cybersecurity. And right now I'm working on my certification to hit the cybersecurity field. So in the next, before you guys be done with the class, I will be getting my next job in cybersecurity. That's how many opportunities what we're going to teach you in this class is going to open up for you. So don't take this for granted. Come into this with your everything. Put at least 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis in this class material, on the class material. And when I say at least 2 to 3 hours, that should be the minimum. Because think about it, most of you here, you got no idea of what you're going to learn here. You got no background. Some of you got no background in IT. Some of you just know how to do Microsoft Word, maybe PowerPoint presentation, a little bit of Excel. Maybe that's all you know about computer. But we are going to be teaching you about the cloud. We are going to be teaching you about Linux system. We are going to be teaching you a little bit about Microsoft OS. So these are stuff you're not exposed to. How do you get used to it? How do you get to know it? Is by putting the time into it. We have all the material, we have all the resources, we have all the experience, we have everything you need to be able to guide you and lead you to your six-figure job. I'll tell you, Abraham can attest to this. The first time when Abraham and I started, we're in the same seat that you're sitting in right now. That man he'd been running his program for years. He had over 300 students in one section. And for some reason, Abraham and I all were just focusing on, we're just calculating in our head how much money they were making. Because each student on average paying about $3,000. So you multiply that by 3,000 students, 300 students, times 2 sections. But as we went through the class, we had people like us, Cameroonians, Nigerians, Ghanaians. We were the only few Liberians in those classes. People coming giving testimony. Oh, I just got a job. I'm not talking about testimony. I'm talking about something with evidence, the offer letter and everything. People coming with $160,000 job offer, 150,000, 120, 130, 135. There was even a doctor who left his doctorate, his medical career, and did the same thing you're doing now. And I think he was the highest salary earner in the entire school. The man was making $198,000 as a DevOps engineer. So what we're teaching you here, what we're about to dive into, please, I'm begging you with everything in me, do not take it for granted. This had the potential to change your life for good. Like I told you, I was working group home manager. I remember what I'm making, $45,000 the whole year. My first job as a DevOps engineer, my salary more than doubled that. Just as an entry level. I'm not saying this because I want to take too much of your time, but I'm saying this so you will know the significance of being in this class. So you can attach some seriousness to it so that you can dedicate some time in your busy schedule to be able to make this a reality. AB, we were 5 who were in a study class, summer group. Our classes started by 6:30 every evening. No, not every evening, but every Tuesday and Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. From 6:30 to 10 o'clock. When we get out of class, by 10 o'clock, we get ourselves to 10:30, 10:45. 5 hours jump our computer. From 10:45 all the way so now to 3 o'clock, so now 4 o'clock in the morning. We're studying, we're testing each other, we're interviewing each other, we're challenging each other. Abraham Umpa, he can't get tired learning. He will grab the other project, and we gotta do the project. But guess what? All those things we were doing, It was building us up. It was building us. Our web then used to get mad at us. But guess what? At the end of the day, we knew what we wanted and we were laser focused on our goal. There was nothing that could distract us. And I'll tell you one fun. Abraham right here, you can attest to it. During one of our class, study class session, I told her, I said, my man, among all 5 of us here, I'll be the first to get a job. Oh, you back crazy, you can get taught. Guess what? The courses was for 6 months. In less than 5 months time, I got my first job. Less than 5 months. Before we even ended that 6-month training, I got my first job. So I'm not saying it to brag, but I'm saying it because when you put your mind on something and you put the time into it, right, you're going to reap the result. And when you put faith behind it, those are all that are, religious here. When you put faith behind it and you pray about it and you put the work into it, my brother, my sister, it's just a matter of time, it will happen. So I'm just giving you a little background about myself, where I started from, what I'm doing now, and what I'm about to do in the future. So I just want to encourage every one of you here. You are in the right place. Those are all that are teaching here. We're not just teaching you stuff that will go grab from ChatGPT or whatsoever. No, we're teaching you practical stuff here. 80% of our curriculum is practical. We just do a little bit of theoretical things that you need to know so that when you go for an interview tomorrow, they ask you some theoretical questions, you'll be able to answer them. But most of what we teach you here is that stuff we'll do on the job every day. We know what is needed for you to get a job. We know what is needed for you to be successful on the interview. We know what is needed for you to get a job and keep the job. Because one thing to get a job and it's one thing to keep it. So ladies and gentlemen on here tonight, I'm encouraging you, please, if you haven't already done that, set time aside every day, practice. Go on your machine, on your virtual machine, run those Linux commands. We have a whole cheat sheet of different Linux commands. We have all the resources you need to succeed in the class. It's only up to you now to put the time into it to be able to succeed. And we are here to support you every step of the way. You heard some of the previous students that were from the previous section, they know what we do here. We don't just leave you alone. We don't just come teach you and no, we have a support system. You have questions, go in a group chat, you ask. You may not get the answer right there and then, but before the day comes to an end, you'll get an answer. We have even revamped the entire website where we have AI on there that can respond to you right away. And then if that answer is not good enough, you will have somebody responding to you within a few hours time. So we have all the resources here for you to succeed. Please feel free to ask questions. Like AB was saying earlier on, just don't interrupt the professor. I would prefer when you have a question, type the question in the group chat, and then one of the other assistants will see it, and then we can respond to your question. If the professor see it, he will respond to your question during the question and answer period. Okay. So do we have any questions before we go over the the PowerPoint slides? Any question, any comment, any contribution from my colleagues?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to know better get inside if Visual Studio Code can be used with VS Code. What it can be used to for the Linux coding.
I'm having a hard time understanding you. What was the question? Your audio is not too great.
Yeah, okay. I said, get me now.
Yeah.
I want to know if the Visual Studio Code can be used for the Linux coding. If you get it, the Visual Studio set up on your machine, it's useful too.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit of yourself, but yes, the VS Code is what we use here. You can use that, but right now it's not the time to use that yet. So if you have it installed on your machine, that's great.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
but that's is gonna be, you know, a few weeks down the line. You're gonna have not access to it because you don't control the access. You can install it on your computer, but you're gonna use that in this class, definitely. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? All right. So let's go into this.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So at the end of every class, if you want to revisit the slide, is it recorded that you can be able to replay?
Yeah, even right now we are recording this session right now. Every section is recorded, and you can always go on the site and access all of those recordings.
Okay.
So if you miss anything, the day for any reason you can't make it to class, those recordings will be available. You can just go back on there, watch them, and follow the class from there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay. So, by the way, I'm not Abraham Batua Senior. And I was AB earlier on. But again, hello and welcome. What we're gonna talk about, what the training is about. We'll talk about your goal. My story, I already went over my story. Maybe AB can use that medium to kind of throw some light on his if he wants. We're gonna go over FAQs, and we're gonna go over how to access the course material. Okay. All right. So what is the aim? What is the aim of this training? The aim of this training, the overall goal here is to train you to be a cloud engineer. You can be a cloud engineer. There's a different titles that attach to somebody who work, you know, in the virtual setting. You can be a cloud architect, you can be a solution architect, you can be a cloud engineer, and each company sometimes have different names for the same job you're going to be doing. But the overall goal here is when you get out of this class, you can, you know, say with confidence in front of anybody that I'm a cloud engineer. I have knowledge in AWS. I can provision how they call it infrastructure using Terraform, you know, incorporated with AWS. I can design and maintain a whole DevOps pipeline. All the stuff you're gonna learn in this class. At the end of everything, those that were in the previous section before that graduated, they were confident enough to be able to say and do all of those things. And when I tell you confident enough, I mean, AB would not, even me, I would not allow you to pass through any section that you did not understand or you did not get anything out of it, because our goal here is not just to get people in here, you know, and then put them out, bring the people in. No, our goal here is to make sure you understand what we teach, that you can stand in front of anybody and be able to defend what you learn. That's the overall goal. Okay. Now, before getting there, let me tell you the story about myself. I already did tell you my story. AB, if you want to throw some emphasis or throw some light or words of encouragement on, you know, your little background, not little background, but your background in the IT field and how you got here, maybe that would be inspirational to some of the students. You are more than welcome to do that. If not, we can move on.
No, thank you, Chris. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll just share a little in. Again, the name. I'm Abraham Batwa from Liberia as well originally. I got into IT since the age 17 years of age. Since I was 17 years of age, got into IT. My big brother in this class, Kelvin Kawe, was the one that took my hand to my first computer school in Ghana and put me in there. And since that time, everything about me is technology. Yeah, so I've been in this domain now for over 10 years plus, and find myself, when I used to be in Liberia, I used to work with, I used to teach computer science at Tilda Computer Institute. And after that, I started working with the Ministry of Health as an IT officer. And later I got promoted when my manager was fired for corruption. I got promoted as as an MAE and IT manager under the Global Fund project. And then later on, we moved to PSR, Population Service International. Through in IT, I attended the UMU. I got my bachelor degree from computer science, information technology, infrastructure management system. And, when the opportunity came, I migrated to America and found myself in the same field. I met Chris as a brother and friend to me. We started our journey deeply, into the real-time war together. When I say real-time war, meaning not condemning what I did in Liberia, but everything that was done there was considered to be outdated. Using that terminology for it is outdated. So everything that I did see in America was completely different, when it comes to technology. So saying that to tell you that when it comes to the stack of technology, there are a lot of upgradations, in technology. That's what we call it continuous learning, finding myself in the field, studying along with Chris. And we have our mentor. Chris and myself, we have one mentor, very, very, I would say mentor. Not to say that is a person that make us to head the direction for which we're in today. We have found ourselves, into different areas of specialization within the same IT field, but he led us to this track, and we are glad, to have in our life. And becoming a DevOps engineer under him was one of the greatest opportunity. There are a lot of things we did. We been through uptime and downtime, in things. We did not sleep. We studied all night. Sometimes we start studying from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, and I have to go to work in the morning. So I'm technically sleeping for 2 hours. So then my brother Kevin will be like, man, you can sleep? I said, yeah, I won't sleep until I get this job because that's my aim. I went in my bathroom, I look at the mirror up, and I took a needle, I write within the mirror. I said, I am a devil engineer. I put my salary there, 175,000. And that was like something coming to fruition because that's exactly what I got. Managing a group, like Chris Regler said, Chris by fit, he was the first person to walk out, with a job. Chris got a job, and we were very excited. Remember, we all sat on the Zoom, we bought our wine, and then we cheers, and then we got in it. Everybody in that group got a job. I was leading the group. I was doing everything. I was the last person. But guess what? The last person was, they get a job with a big paycheck. So I'm just telling you, because this is an exciting journey that you're in right now. I'll be honest with you. And we are happy to have you, but I always tell you, you are in a good place. During our time, we did not have people like us, to lead you through things. We found things and we figure things on our own. Imagine how difficult it is if you don't know something to dig it. It's not an easy thing. But we are here today to guide you through every step of the way, like Chris mentioned. And not to dive so much into the time, but I will just tell you, you are in the right place and we are here for you. We are here to make you a certified cloud engineer within the 6-month period. By the time you complete this thing, man, there is nothing you're going to see out there. You're going to be a novice too. Trust me. The goal of this thing is for you to get the money. That's for which we are here. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for that inspiring story. Thank you so much. Guys, just for today, feel free to interrupt me if you have any question, okay? Just for today. All right. So guys, the overall goal here, financially, besides the career path, is to earn a six figure. And when we say six figure, for those of you that don't know, I will assume everybody know, but just in case, six figure is any salary that is above 100,000 and up. And if you look at the U.S. Bureau of Statistics, the last time I checked, it might be outdated now, but we can look it up. If one of my colleagues can check it up, if you look at the amount or the percentage of people like us, when I say people like us, I mean brown skin, especially those of us from Africa. If you look at the percentage of those people that earn a six figure in the entire American workforce, the last time I checked was about 3%. 3%. Yeah. So technically what that means is that of every 100 people you see that work in the IT field that making six figure, only 3 you will see among them that somebody who is of like you and I race. Think about that for a minute. Now, another statistic that I did look up again, David or AB, if you can help me with this one. The percentage of all American making six figure as a annual salary. The last time I checked was 6, I think it was between 6 to 8%. It may have increased. So you are leading yourself to a path.
Yeah, between 18, 20 to 25% right now, as of now.
That means the people that earn six figure, right?
Yeah.
Yes. 18 to 20%, 25%. Think about that for a minute. 18 to 25% of all Americans that are working, all the workforce, you're talking hundreds of millions of people, only 18 to 25% earn six figures and above. This is the path that you are training on. This is the path that we're trying to put you on. So I don't know if that cannot motivate you. I don't know what else to tell you to motivate you. Now we're going to talk a little bit about where all that money comes from. Why would somebody just look at you and pay you 100,000 plus? We'll talk a little bit about that. Okay. And for typical example, one of the more common example we can use is Uber, because even people back home use this Uber. Uber not in Liberia, but Ghana, Nigeria, all those places, they got Uber there. Right? We all here in America has maybe once upon a time have used Uber before. Whether it's Uber Eats to deliver your food, or is Uber Ride to get you from point A to point B. Now, have we ever thought about how does this application work? Has anybody ever thought about that? Well, if you haven't thought about that, then you're going to start thinking about that today or tonight. So the Uber application you have on your phone, that is the front end. Where you go on your phone, you click, go on the application, where you're coming from, where you're going, bam, you request a ride. All the things that make that application work in the back end, these are some of the things you're going to be learning in this class. The front end users are the customers that have the application on the phone. But none of them know what's happening in the back end. Who's maintaining the application to make sure it's updated? Who's maintaining the application to make sure it never breaks? If Uber go down for 1 hour, why am I even saying 1 hour? Uber go down for 5 minutes. They're losing millions of dollars. For 5 minutes, they go down for 5 minutes. They're losing millions of dollars globally. So in order for that not to happen or to limit the chances of that ever happening, guess what? Who do they hire to do those jobs? It's us. The DevOps engineers, the cloud architect, solution architect, system admin, all those people, they hire us to make sure that Uber does not break. Because if Uber break for 5 minutes, they're losing millions of dollars. So they pay you that 100,000+ so that they don't lose millions of dollars in 5 minutes. So that 100,000+ you're gonna be making when you graduate from the class, it's just chicken change to them. It's just chicken change to them. But guess what? For you and I, that's money that have the potential to change our life. It has the potential to change our life. How many of us on the class right now make 50,000 a year? Not so many of us. Even in working group, I told my story, I working group manager as a group manager for 8 years. My cap salary was 47,000. That was it. I couldn't go above that. But after you graduate from this class, by the grace of God, you complete the courses successfully. We train you in our curriculum. We have resume building. We have job coaching. We have on-job support and everything to help you to make you successful. Some of us didn't have the opportunity you have now. We just went to that boot camp and that meant we'll go out of it. That was it. No support whatsoever. We had to figure things on our own. But because we went through that difficult time, guess what? Those are some of the reasons why we decided to come together to put this program together so that people who will come after us that we train will not have to go through that. I remember my first assignment they gave me, the company I was working for a small company, so they didn't have a lot of engineers. After my first week, second week, they gave me an assignment to write a script, a bash script that will automate stopping Tomcat before the playboat ran, and then restarting Tomcat after the playboat ran to a certain point to be able to, for those changes or upgrade to take effect, you got to stop and start the application. We couldn't do that manually because you're deploying to hundreds of servers. So they wanted me to write a script to do that. Guess what? No much support. But I guarantee you in this class, when you graduate here, get a job, any issue you have on the job, AB is here, I'm here. You reach out, we'll be able to find a solution for you. That's some of the advantages you're getting here. So back to Uber. How does Uber work? When the passenger, you can see my cursor right here, right? On the left-hand side. You all right? Yeah, answer me now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see my cursor right here on the left-hand side. In his hand,
yeah.
in his guy's hand is a phone with the Uber app on it. Uber have millions of users worldwide, right? Now, when the passenger want a ride, what does he do? He requests the ride, right? And that request go to the driver, right? When I request go to the driver sees the request, accept it. They come, they pick you up, boom, they carry to your destination. But do we know how the traffic that request goes through, the process it goes through? Here's how it works. In this building you see here, that's Uber data center. In this data center, they have all the application servers in here. Some of these application servers are virtual. Some of them are still legacy servers. Because there are some applications, like the company I work for, some of our applications has to be on legacy servers. Some has to be in the cloud. But just for the sake of the argument, this building is a physical building. So let's say we have some legacy servers in here, right? When you request that, when you put in for that request doesn't go straight to the driver though. The request goes straight to the data center, to the application server. The application server now will now process, and I'm talking about milliseconds. we all know when we request an Uber ride, how long it takes for that request to get to the driver, like in seconds. So the request comes from the passenger, boom, data center will process it based on the driver location and the close proximity to the passenger. That computer will send the request to the nearest driver. Driver get it. Okay, somebody need to be picked up here. Boom, they accept it. They can pick you up. Get on the ride. Right? Now, during the transportation period, while that passenger is in the car, there's information being sent back and forth from the application servers to the what? The application on the driver app and the application on the passenger app. All those information is synchronized. That's why when you're in the Uber app, you can either end your trip, you can what? Extend your trip, you can add a stop to your trip. How is that possible? Because your application is synchronized with the application servers in the data center. Now, you may ask, okay, Chris, so how is the data center connected to the phone? This is where how they call virtualization comes in. The word virtualization comes in. Everything is synchronized because it's virtualized. Now, when you reach to the end of the ride, the driver hit end. It doesn't go straight to the passenger though. Again, it goes to the data center. The computer will relay that information to the driver, to the passenger, that the ride has ended. They process the fee, Uber take the share, and you get your own share. Now, have you ever thought about all the computers, the legacy servers that are in this data center? Who maintaining those computers? System administrators. Linux system admin. They are the one running those computers, making sure those computers are at optimal functionality. Now, when you start working in the cloud, as a cloud architect, your job is to provision those particular servers that your company wants for whatever project they want to put on the servers or application they want to put on it. When you get to AWS, you understand it better. So AWS had their own engineers that manage those servers, but then the companies that buy it from them, they have access to it virtually. You won't understand that now until you actually get to AWS, then you understand it better. Okay? So this is how these things work. And we're just using Uber because Uber is one of the most common, application we have out here. But for the millions and millions of applications we have out there, whether it's Facebook, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Google, all of those applications run on servers. And who maintains the server? System admin. Who maintains the application that run on the servers? DevOps engineer. Okay? So let's move forward. Let's look at some possibilities. Okay. So in the instance, right, that a user decide not to use Uber again, what do you think happened to Uber? Say Uber keep breaking. Every time they want to use Uber, there's some kind of glitch in the system. When they request ride, before the ride get to the wait for 20, 25 minutes. When the ride is 5 minutes away, then you load the whole application, go dark. If those stuff keep happening, right? What happens? The passengers or the user decide not to use Uber again. What do you think will happen to Uber? Anybody can say what's on their mind. What do you think will happen to Uber?
I think
It will definitely lose customers.
Exactly.
And
yeah, they will definitely lose customers, and then maybe they'll run out of business.
Oh, not even maybe, they will definitely run out of business.
Yeah.
Because what make Uber is the users and the driver. There are other applications out there that there's Lyft, right? There is Lyft, and there are other applications out there that people can use. So when the Uber application keep giving the driver a hard time, guess why? He's gonna switch over to Lyft. Uber is losing money. When the application keep giving the user a hard time on the front end, they're gonna switch over to a different application. Uber is gonna lose money. So in order to avoid all of those things, what do Uber do? They hire system admin, they hire DevOps engineer, they hire solution architect, they hire cloud engineers, and the list goes on and on and on. They hire data scientists to maintain those applications, to make sure those systems are ready to go, and those systems are optimized to the point that they can handle millions and millions of traffic coming in and going out. This is why your job as a DevOps engineer, as a cloud engineer, as a cloud architect, solution architect, wherever it may be in this field, that's how important your job is. Can you imagine? Do you guys remember a few months ago, there was an outage in the airline industry in America here and globally? Do you guys remember that? Just a few months ago. I think AB talked about that in one of the classes. It was just a little line in the code that caused the bug. The company that maintained the security software for those airlines, they did a deployment to upgrade the system, and there was a bug in the code. It shut the whole system down. Nobody was flying. It disrupted the whole airline industry. They lost, they're not even millions, billions of dollars. That's why your job as a DevOps engineer or whatever position you pick up from this training, that's how important your job is. Take, for example, AB working in a bank. Do you know what will happen if AB then do some kind of deployment that got a bug in it for even 1 hour? For 1 hour, those companies they're losing millions of dollars. That's why your job is very important. The company I work for, we offer how they call it, artificial intelligence to Walmart, the biggest retailer in the world, and FedEx, one of the biggest logistical company in the whole world. What do I do as a DevOps engineer? I do everything. Because my company is smaller, we don't have too many departments. I do system configuration, which you will learn here in Linux System Administrator. I do on deployment, software upgrades. I do application maintenance. I provide on level 3 support to our support team. And the list goes on. Just a few times, we're upgrading all the servers in Walmart. We're talking thousands of servers. Now, we wrote a script to configure those computers after the hardware team installed them. But sometimes some stuff breaks. Who do they call? They call me. The whole of last week and the week before that, what I've been doing. So there's nothing you will learn in this class, guy, that will be a waste. Nothing. I will try to end this at 10 o'clock. Nothing you will learn in this class that will be at breaks. That will be a waste. You will use every tool you're going to learn in this class. It will be useful to you. So let's move on from Uber.
Yeah.
We already talked about this. Okay, driver decided not to use Uber anymore because he's frustrated. Talk about that. All right. Data center go down. That is the worst case ever that can happen. Data center go down. What happens, guys? Who can guess what will happen? Just look at this picture and predict what will happen. The data center go down. What will
Yeah, I
happen?
think yeah, like I mean, yeah, if probably if you got a problem from the data center, most often there will be a casualty, maybe an accident, because people will be using the Uber at that point. So if the system has a shutdown, there will be a lot of casualty around, from my own understanding.
When you say casualty, what do you mean? Casualty where?
Like maybe let's say accident, because it will be the Uber will try to malfunction.
Okay. That probably not necessarily so. What will happen is that unless maybe the passenger is using the self-driving car, like the Uber car that drive themselves. I went to Arizona, I saw a lot of them. Nobody drives it, it's just automated. Yeah, that I would say, yeah, data center goes down, there might be some, maybe the application will malfunction, but because it's a separate how they call it, computer that runs the car to be able to detect safety on the road and all that kind of stuff. It's a separate computer that runs the car, and it's a separate computer that runs the application that the car is using. So maybe there may not be some casualty. When the data center goes down, anybody else want to give it a shot? Yeah, Dan raised his hand. Go ahead.
I think there will be no operation altogether, and there will be millions of dollars that will be lost in the process because you don't have no users. No user won't be able to interface with the Uber drivers, and the Uber driver will not be having an opportunity to also be able to reach out to passengers.
Exactly. So don't forget, everything that is being relayed to the driver and the passenger comes from the data center, right? Yeah. So when the data center go down, everything shut down. That whole application will be when you turn it on, say, probably not going to come up, or when it may come on, but none of the functions will work. So the data center, the people that work here, they have a very critical job to make sure that this never happens. Do stuff that they happen sometimes, maybe with a natural disaster or whatsoever, but even with that, that's why they have data security, right? They will put a whole lot of mitigation, security plan in place that when A happen, we fall back to B. When B happen, doesn't work, we got C and we got plan D. That's one of the work of a cybersecurity engineer. You gotta come up with disaster recovery plans. But that's a whole separate thing. So we shouldn't go into that. All right, let's move on here. So you're getting an idea of where we're going with this, right? Why your job is important as a DevOps engineer or whatever role you may come away out of this class. Why it's important? Yeah, data center goes down. There's no way neither for drivers to pick up clients, nor client to get a ride, get a ride using the Uber app. The city has a big problem. Nothing is working. The company lost a lot of money, loses a lot of money. Okay. So data center, like I said, is the heart of the business. That data center goes down, there is no Uber. So everything goes through there. Now, who are the professional? IT, system engineers. Okay. All right. Nowadays, we are moving to the numerical world. Companies make sure to have app running, and they advise the clients to get services through the app. Beautiful sentence is click here to download our app. How many of you have seen that before? Every little app advertisement you see on your phone or your computer, you click on it. Oh, download our app, download our app. All those applications need system engineers to run them. Need DevOps engineer to maintain them, upgrade, and deploy those applications. Okay? There's much money in the IT field. I can't overemphasize that. It's a lot of money in the IT field. But in order to make that money, you have to prepare yourself. That's why we are offering this opportunity. for you to prepare yourself. Dip your foot in the IT world. I'm not even saying dip your foot. Put your whole body inside and fall down inside. Roll all inside it. Soak yourself in it. Because guess what? When you get a job tomorrow, I'm not saying if you get a job, I'm saying when you get a job tomorrow, you will have yourself to thank it. Provides financial independence. I was in Worcester. People Kevin, they all know me from Worcester there. In Worcester, you know, things was not too that bad, but I wasn't really getting what I wanted to get. When I got my first job, guess what? I was in Massachusetts and I bought my house here in Indiana before I even moved. That is the flexibility these jobs come with. The flexibility. I work from home 100%. My office, my main office for my job is all the way in Massachusetts. But in Indiana, I work here. So now I go to Liberia, I work from Liberia. So these are the opportunity and the flexibility these jobs come with. So guys, I cannot motivate you any further than this. I will keep talking to you. We will keep talking to you. We'll keep encouraging you. The opportunity is right on your lap. How you use it is up to you. All right, FAQ. What attitude should you have in order to get the best from this training? I've already emphasized that, and I can re-emphasize. You have to put at least 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis, minimum, to get acquainted with the course material. Because don't forget, you don't know any of these things. It's a new, whole different field you're coming in. For those of you who haven't have any experience. So in order for you to get used to it, you got to make it part of you. 2 to 3 hours minimum a day will get it done for you. What do you need for this program? You need devices. If you look on our website, we have on description and requirements for the computer you're going to use. Minimum requirement. How will the training go on? The training will go on every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. Eastern time and 7 p.m. Is that Mountain Time for Minnesota? Liberia time would be 12 midnight. Okay. The training is virtual, like you already know. You log into the system. We all get on the Zoom call, and we conduct our classes on here. What do you post on a WhatsApp group? You can post questions on a WhatsApp group. Sometimes when you find an article relevant to the topic we're treating, you are more than welcome to post articles and stuff. What that would tell me or tell the other instructor is that the students are researching. The students are doing stuff on their own. Not everything we teach you in the class, is sufficient. There's a lot of resources. Like in as much as I said, we have all the resources you need in this class to succeed, yes. But to further yourself, take that extra step. Like you're going to school, right? You're not just depending on what the teacher is teaching you in class. You go and make research on your own. That's how you become a good student. The same thing here. Go make some research. Okay, we're talking about Linux today, Linux operation system. Let me go and make some research on Linux. How it started, who founded Linux, what is it about, what does it do? Stuff like that. Things that get you closer to the 6-figure salary, your time, the dedication, the commitment to this. Your problem concerning the various lessons and materials. If you have any problems, any issue, reach out. Do not be afraid. Don't feel ashamed. Ask questions. There's no dumb question in this class. When you ask funny questions, we'll laugh at you. By the end of the day, we'll give you the answer. Because me and that laughing business. So, your best friends in this program, Google, YouTube. You have no idea. Like I have a whole, I created my own YouTube playlist. All DevOps stuff. Any DevOps video I see, we're treating a particular topic, I see the good video on YouTube. I take that video, I save it on my playlist. So I can go back to it anytime and go watch it. Google and YouTube. should be your best friend in this class. Somebody call it University of YouTube. There's nothing you want to know or learn that is not on YouTube. So please take advantage of these resources. Okay. Red Hat certification. We'll talk more about this when we go into Linux. Obligation, if you want to find a job, yeah. We'll show more emphasis on this. Which Linux version of Linux are we going to be using here? We're going to be using Ubuntu. We're going to be using Red Hat. We're going to be using CentOS. I don't know if we have a new version of CentOS now because the last one we used was going to be deprecated. But those are the different flavors we're going to use. Which version of VirtualBox? I don't think we installed in VirtualBox, right, Abraham?
No, we're gonna be using a server directly, EC2 instances.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's what I heard from the beginning. Yeah, so before we usually create our own lab and install machines on those lab, but we're not going to do this anymore using the cloud for our
Yeah.
stuff.
And the reason is, Chris, to just kind of add more to that, because the time consumption involved, as you know,
Yeah,
it takes
yeah.
students a lot of time. Every day they having network problem, and in real time, your job is not to set up, virtual machine lab. Those are the things. It's kind of irrelevant. That's why we just go with the cloud to provision all of those servers for them.
Perfect. If the cloud is even easier, you can spin up
Yeah.
a Ubuntu server in less than 5 minutes. Okay, so that would be perfect. It is an obligation to have a laptop, guys. You need to have 2 screens. You want to succeed in this class, make life easier for yourself. You need to have 2 screens. One screen is for the presentation. The other screen is for you to be running your servers on it, on your CLI, your command line interface, and doing your thing. It's very difficult to be able to be following the class on the same computer. You can split the screen though, but it's not going to be very efficient. So the easier way to get 2 screens, one computer for the courses, for the presentation, the other one, you're running your system on the other computer. Okay. You can even use a tablet. It doesn't necessarily have to be a computer for the presentation. You can use a tablet. If you have a good phone, you can use that too. How can I relate this program to my actual field of work? Can I use this in my current job? Probably not. It depends on what you do for work. You can't be working in group home. You expect to use cloud, computing at your group home. They may have it there, but that's not what you're going to be doing at that job. Okay. If you're somebody who work in IT, yes, you can easily transition into this. It can be related in so many ways, but it depends on what you do now for work currently. Okay. Like I was telling you earlier, I used to work group home and I transitioned to IT. Are they related? No. I don't even put that group home stuff on my resume because it's so irrelevant. All right. How to access our course? This URL is obsolete now, right? Right, Abraham?
Yes, Chris, that is deprecated. Yeah, that will be updated.
So this site has been decommissioned. I think
I'm sending it right in the chat there, Chris. You just updated right now. Yeah, please.
okay.
Yeah, just grab it from the Zoom chat and just update it.
Okay. Access the website, launch browser. Okay, so there was a few questions. Let me just run through these things. Okay, we're done from here. There was few questions about how people can access the courses, right? Some of you had question about that. Oh, it's 10 o'clock now. So AB, you want to go over that real quick?
Yeah, sure thing. I can do that.
So you can take over now. You can stop sharing.
Yeah, sure thing. I can do that. All right. Let us get to business. Okay, so let me share my screen again. All right, so if you can see my screen, please let me know. All right, this is a beautiful website, right? This is where you have everything. Now, hold on 1 second. I like to see people when I'm, okay. All right, let me reshare. For some reason, I try to share, but I'm not seeing, okay. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So this is a website. So on this website, the first thing, right, as student, the first thing you're gonna do, I'm gonna log out and just show you something. This is mostly to the new student. I know for the old student, if you're still having some trouble, yes, indeed, yeah, you can still follow the same route. Now, if you launch the website, let's start from scratch. If you launch the website, that's the link. I'm going to send that link in the chat. So I just sent a link in the chat. If you launch the website, it takes you to, the homepage, right? Now, when it takes you here, you see login, right? Login will only be active for students that are registered. And I do know every student that in here have been registered or will be registered, right? Now, when you click on login, it asks you for your email or your username, right? Or your password. I'm pretending to be a student. I'm also an admin, but let me say as a student. So I put in my admin credential, ADMIN. I'm admin. And then my password is something I don't know, right? And then I hit login. So you're going to authenticate and authorize me, right? So boom, I'm in. Now when I get in, I will see my profile here. Before you used to see login, right? So when I click on my profile, what do you notice? You notice my full name, right? So this section is my page, and that will be applicable to you. Now in here, your profile, you now have your profile here. So in here, when you click on your profile, then you click on what you call profile. When you click on this, you point here and click on profile. And then your profile will open. It takes you here. You understand? Then you scroll down, you see the various courses, right? Now you see cloud engineering, you see DevOps engineering, you see Terraform engineering, you see Linux system administration. Now let me ask a question to the new student. Which course are you on right now? Or which course are you in orientation for right now?
Linux.
Good. So you're in a course for Linux, right? So this guy here is what you're doing. So you're going to click on him, right? You click on this guy. So you see him? Now, when you click here, it will tell you what you need to do. 1 to 8 weeks, full contents, everything that you're going to be learning in Linux, the quizzes, stuff. Don't worry about quiz, guys. We're going to be giving you project, okay? Don't say, oh, they're going to give me quiz and they will fail me. No, this is a boot camp. Yeah. Okay. So week 1 to week 2, if you click here, the first thing you learn is what? Linux fundamental, right? CLI navigation. When you click here, do you see here? This is where your instructor was. All right. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this was the same page your instructor was just on. So you can start on it with this. Read through. Give it that beautiful experience, right? Do things. Now, let's go back. So the second week On the second day, when you finish with this, tomorrow you'll be starting on file management and user group. Depends on how and what is your curriculum design for your instructor, what he's doing tomorrow for you. So file management and user groups, right? File management and user group, it's in here. File permission, editors, VI, Nado, and all of those, good things like that, okay? And then you're going to be doing what we call file permissions as well. You see? Then after a year, you're going to be going to week 4 and 3. So all of these things, that's how you access your license, right? Now you see when you click here, boop, you just go in the same way, right? You see? So take your time, go to the website, but you must be logged in. You have to get a credential. So I sent a message in your WhatsApp group asking every one of you to send me your email. And this is not mostly to the old student, but the old student, please, again, for those of you that are always in the habit, sometimes you lost your credential, you forgot your password, send your email address to us. We're going to send you a reset code with your password. But for the new students, send your email and send your emails or your full name to that number or that email you see there. And then we're going to set up your information. We're going to set up your login credential and your password. We're going to give it to you. Just watch up for those information, right? We're going to reply to you directly through your email. We're not going to share it in the WhatsApp group because we don't want, people using each, different, like somebody can use your credential if you share that full information. So we don't want it. So that makes sure we keep it, privately. I'm going to email you those credentials. So just make sure by the end of the night, you send me those information. It's very important. All right. So that is for Linux. You are learning Linux, so your concentration should be on Linux. All right. That's what you're learning. So your concentration should be on Linux, not on any other course. Do not confuse yourself, guys. Any research that you're going to be doing in here, it should be focused on Linux. Because at the end of the day, we have to certify to say, yes, indeed, Conan or Ernest or Leighton or, Kelvin is a certified Linux system engineer, meaning you know everything about organizational structure, file permission, user group, automation, shell scripting, CDLX, the web server configuration, all of those things, you can do it. And when I say you can do it, you have to demonstrate it to us in real time that you can do it. So your concentration for this course should be directly on Linux. Any question you're asking the instructor, any research you're doing, let it be directly on Linux so that you can keep that direction. When you're done with Linux, you certify you that, okay, you have completed Linux, you can move to the next course called whatever that's going to be coming up. Then you start to advance. By the time you complete everything, the general project that we're going to give to you will cover everything that you have completed. That way you're going to be facing, mock interview, real-time job scenario, job coaching, and all of those things until in the next 2 to 3 months, you learn your first job by the grace of God. So the bulk of the responsibility is on you to keep laser focused because this thing is not easy. Nothing good come easy, I'll be honest with you. If something good come easy, people will be running to go be, doing this thing. You won't have anybody flipping burgers to McDonald's, right? Everybody will be an engineer.
Will be poor.
Yes. Everybody will be an engineer, but it is not easy. So let's keep laser focused and we're going to get there. ABDA will make sure you succeed. Trust me, when I say ABDA will make sure you succeed, we will make sure you succeed because we have done it before and we are in the process of doing it for the other batch. So we're going to do it for you as well. But the bulk of the responsibility is for you to remain or stay laser focused. Treat this thing as if your life depends on it. Because if your life depends on something, tell me, guys, you will never take it lightly, right? So treat it as if to say your life depends on it because it is a career. It's not a vocational school. This is a career. So you have to focus. Any question?
Yes, I have a question, Amy.
Yes.
So how many weeks or how many months for each of the course?
So the entire program is technically 6 months, but I will tell you one thing. The instructor design his curriculum, design his plan, on how this, the time should go, right? But we do our best to stay within the 6 month cycle. Sometimes little over 6.5 years because things happen, right? Holidays and all of those stuff, right? So those are things that we plan for as well. So the entire stuff is 6 months. Now, if you see the Linux system and those stuff here, we are only meeting you 2 times a week. So if we say 8 weeks, calculate that by the days that we meet with you, right? So this is why it's very important not to miss any session. So if Linux is going for technically, let's say, what is the duration here for it? Let me go back here and see. Give me 1 second. Let me go back. 1 to 2 weeks, 1 week, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 8 weeks, right? So technically, how many days? 2, 4, 6.
2 months.
So you see there, technically 2 months, but if you break it down, it's what? Couple days, right? Technically, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 10 days, technically, or 10 days or 12 days like that. So those are days that you don't want to miss. Again, things happen. When you miss those days, guess what? The advantage is that you have access to the recording, right? The recording session or the recorded session will be posted on the website and also on the SharePoint site. So the SharePoint site, I did not show you guys. I have to go there and show you because it's very important to show you the SharePoint site. So if you enter the website, you go to this logo. Click on your logo, it will take you to the home page. So which is technically called the dashboard. So when it take you here, you see here, you scroll down. So you see where you say resource SharePoint. Right by the Zoom session. For those of you that are asking for the Zoom credential, anytime you want to log into session, come on your website and click on Zoom session. You understand? Click here, it will take you to the class. Click right here, it will take you to class. If you enter the class, you will be authenticated. You do not enter the class on just iPhone. Enter the class with your full name. Any iPhone that enter the class will be placed in the waiting room until the class finish. Yes, you have to identify yourself. So this SharePoint, when you click on this SharePoint, it will take you directly to our SharePoint resources. This is where we have most of your resources for your software, all of the things that you're going to be using. Your VS Code, your VS, like your mobile extend, your party, all of those software that you want to download, your Git Bash, things like that you're going to need throughout the process, right? This is where you can access them. You understand? You can also access courses here too as well. All right, and you can access class recording here. But most of the class recording will be posted on the website for you. Any question? Mr. Yukor, any question?
It's clear. Thank you.
And one thing which I consider very important, there is no foolish question. Every question is relevant. Every question is very relevant. No foolish question, guys. I'm telling you this because real time, yes, real time we sit on job, co-worker ask some question, you meet yourself and laugh so hard. And then you unmute yourself and then you talk. So people that are getting paid asking some question that some of you will say the question does not make sense, but there is no crazy question. Every question makes sense because it deserves an answer, right? So there is no crazy question. Please ask question. When you come to class, Get your notebook with you or put your notepad up on your computer. This is why it's mandatory. It's not just encouraging. We don't encourage, but it's mandatory that you have a two screen. You understand? Just go to Walmart. Go to Walmart, you know, 120, you know, sometimes $79, $100 will give you a screen. For those of you that in Labro who know sometimes, you know, it's difficult, you know, with the economy, but all over, man, you know, because the reason you will have the opportunity to remain Liberian and get a job. People work in Ghana with Info6, with the big tech company. While Liberia can do the same. You have Starlink in Liberia, you have Orange. Orange Internet is expanding, you know. You can work. You can even work with Orange. You can work with MTN. Most of those system administrators that work with Lone Star, MTN, I know them. I mean, some of them, they are my personal friends. Those guys that make $1,500 a month. You can be like that. Some of them don't even know what you're learning here. So you have the advantage. And you have to sacrifice for it. You got to pay the dues, guys. The money you're going to pay in Abdaya is nothing. I say it's nothing, not to condemn the money that you pay, but if you get a job, and when you get a job within 6 months, your first paycheck is going to cover everything that you ever do. Like, how much? Yeah, wow. Yeah, this is exactly what I plan for. So nothing should be expensive for you, you know. Spend the money, and you're going to laugh. You're going to smile. So please, take it very seriously. Get your two screen, get your notepad up your system, take extra note, ask question. Because ones who ask question always knows the way home, right? Because if you forget anything when you ask question, they bring you on code. But the only thing I will tell you, follow the drill. When the instructor is presenting, keep your question, and then when he pause and ask, open the floor for question and answer, then you can come into, you raise your hand and you'll be recognized. The Zoom chat, the Zoom session you're on, there's an area that you can raise hand, right? You see that raise hand. Once you click there, your hand will be raised and it will recognize you. Okay? So that we can make sure that we are not doing voice over each other, right? Any other question? Today, like your instructor said, it's not a full instructional day, it's an orientation to what you should expect. So for those of you that have your email, I've been receiving some emails here coming in. I will assign a server to you and the IP. Tomorrow, your instructor will be mostly focused on that for tomorrow to make sure you're accessing those servers. So your server will be accessed. You are responsible to maintain the server, and please meet yourself. You will be responsible to account for that server, to maintain the server, and maintain and follow the security policy of that server. Yes. So that will be your responsibility. All right. But don't worry on the cost that will incur in the server. Do not provision anything for the old student. I keep saying it. If you have any resources in your personal environment, please destroy it. Use other infrastructure to do your stuff. All right. I will stop here. If no other question, then I will turn over to the instructor. And then we can give you back your extra 30 minutes remaining.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Ernest.
So to get access to the login, I have to send you my email, right? But I did it, but I enrolled. So you don't see my email when I did it enroll?
I have to go through the database because if your name, if your full name is the name that appeared, then I will flag it out. Then yeah, I will know right away.
I'll better say I'll send it to you. I'll text it to you.
Okay. Any other question? Now, for anything financial, within the financial aspect, there's a guy called David. that refused to show himself because he don't want to be seen. He only want to be seen the time he call you. So that guy will be contacting you for anything.
I rather like my bank account face see you than for you to see my face. So as long yeah, my bank face will see you. That was good.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that's gonna be talking to you. But anything other than that, guys, relax yourself. Do not be under stress. This class is not meant, to drain you down. You are here to have fun, technical fun. Okay, it's gonna be fun. Doing something logical and technical is funny, right? It's all about fun. Just do stuff, build stuff, describe stuff, build, deploy, debug, screen your brain, to analyze things. It's very interesting to do those things. As an engineer, I call you guys now prospective engineers, right? You are a solution developer. That is your job. Your job is to be a solution developer. An engineer do not say, I don't understand this thing. I'm getting error here. I can't understand this. No, read the logs, right? Read the error messages. So many of you here, you will see, boom, this thing cannot run. Oh, prof, we can see they were not working for me. Yes. What error is it giving to you, right? You should be able to read that error message. And you read the error message, say, oh, it says access denied. That means my credential is not correct, right? Oh, it says cannot reach the destination. That means no traffic leaving from my source to go outside. That means something wrong with my firewall. That means a port is not open. That means connection is not stable. That means I'm not using the proper connection. That means I'm not using the proper IP. That means my IP is not correct. All of those things. When you read the error, you will know exactly what is going on. Sometimes you might not know. You will need us to tell you and provide a solution for you. That's why we are here, right? We're going to make sure you succeed. So anything you don't understand, it is our responsibility. Our brother George is here to take you through it. And we got a breakout session. If you don't understand something, poof, we send you to the breakout session, and Georgie going to be there. He's going to be the man to walk you through things and make sure that your issue is being resolved, and then you can come back to class. If you're doing a project in the night, if you hear somewhere you don't know, please do not send messages up in that WhatsApp chat midnight, because some of your colleagues, they set alarm on their phone for them to wake up in the morning, and then when you hit anything, their phone will alarm, boom, and then they feel like daybreak, right? So all of those things, just submit ticket. That's an area too, for the website. We're going to be adding that feature on the new website for you to be submitting ticket. But not even the feature, right? We have this lady called Laura. Can you guys see my screen? If you see why it said chat with us, This lady is called Laura, right? Talk to Laura. If you don't understand something, ask Laura. You see here? Did you see there? So Laura said she don't have a specific information, but for more information, you can click here. So when you click here, guess what's going to happen? It will take you straight to the website, to that particular sector that you want to go. You see contacts? You see the contacts? You can come here and you can see everything. You see? So that's how powerful Laura is. Any information you want to know about your instructors, about the school, you can ask Laura. You see, you can tell Laura, say, create me a ticket. Sometimes she will say she will reach out, but again, if Laura doesn't get it, Laura, I'm afraid I don't have that information, but contact you, read more, assist you with your request, you click here. So Laura is always pointing you to contacts, right? You can just hit the number, you start calling, You can send an email. You can put your, you can send your message in here directly and somebody respond to you. So this app is very good, right? It's very, very good. They're going to help you to succeed. Any more questions? We might be seeing other new faces too tomorrow as well. This is going to be an interesting journey. I call it a journey into the land of the six figure. I don't know about you, but that's how I call it. Georgie, how you call the journey?
The journey to glory. Where you will sail, no looking back.
Yep. All right, guys. So, Chris, we are free to give back the 30 minutes, right? Since you're done with the orientation, we can give back the 30 minutes if there is nothing else. And then we can all gather tomorrow, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll start the real stuff, like AB said. We will be. I think those servers are already been provisioned, so you're not gonna be.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I forgot a little bit. I'm sorry for that. So, yeah. So your server, if you see here, this is AWS. This is Amazon, right? Those are your servers. See, those servers are up. Now, I just want to flash you something that you're gonna be dealing with. You know, when you start to speak the big B term, right? Very soon. This is the code that provision your server. You see here? This is the code that provision your server. That server you see there, something provision it. In 2 seconds, that server will provision. So when you start doing a course called Terraform, these are the kind of stuff you're going to be doing. You're going to be building infrastructure. You're going to be designing infrastructure. You're going to be architecting, system and determining the output, how you want the system to perform. You're going to be creating a series of resources, adding all those logics within it, right? So this is the code that provision this infrastructure, which give birth to these EC2 instances. I think there are about 20 EC2s, right? So we're going to distribute this on you, the IP address. I'm going to be doing it tonight and make sure each and every one of you have access to this. Okay? Yeah, so I just thought to add that in. So if there is nothing, then we can call it a day. We see you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay?
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
That's
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
everybody.
All right.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good
Yeah.
night.
Right.
Brad, look.